This episode of After Hours is presented by EDUKWEST, the vertical news environment for individuals and corporate. Your content, your way. For more info, visit edukweст.com.
I'm staring at my laptop screen, scrolling through the feed. I'm subscribed to 100 blogs, but there's still nothing to read.
Hey, welcome everyone. It's time for a new After Hours with all the interesting posts I found but didn't put in a blog post. So let's get started. So far, the biggest funding deal in education this year, Newton raised a Series D round with $33 million. And yeah, apparently they want to open their API to developers, more coursework and digital textbooks on the technology platform, and also want to create a marketplace for adaptive learning apps and courses to make individual learning better. Next story, Skype is just now officially or somehow partly part of Microsoft. Still in some countries it is not officially approved just now, so I'm sure more Skype and Microsoft news to come, which leads to the next story, actually talking about alternatives to Skype. So there are of course other meeting platforms and software. This post is about AnyMeeting, and they were launched in late 2009, and they now introduced six-way video calling. So I didn't try it out yet, but I definitely will, and will tell you more if the technology works smooth also with more than two participants. We know that self-publishing works quite well for fiction already, and quite some successful authors regularly self-publish and do their marketing and sales without a big publisher. So why shouldn't this work for professors and for textbooks as well? And the article is about new digital tools that lets professors create their textbooks for under $20. So I'm pretty excited and look forward to hearing more about that and the first textbooks to be published this way. YouTube news. We are all aware in education that YouTube for schools is sort of intriguing, but also has some issues. Some schools blocked it because they cannot follow everything that is being published on the YouTube platform, and some may or might not be suitable for their school children, for the learners. So YouTube are taking action, and they created youtube.com/t/education, sort of a safe way for schools to access the platform and only have pre-selected and, if you will, good educational content on it. So more YouTube related news. BenchPrep, they announced their new feature called Open Prep, and this links to interactive courses such as the Khan Academy and also YouTube, for example, and enhances the BenchPrep content. So the only tricky point, I suppose, here is that BenchPrep are taking money and then they enhance by linking to free content. So we have to see. I am going to write a blog post about the issues I see here. News of 99 Designs, a very successful designer platform, as many of you, my audience, might know already. But a very nice thing they did, they made a new fund, and they will award 1,010 students with $99 bonus payments on top of the content price they won already. So a nice extra bonus, and I think a nice way to celebrate their success. Now, does it pay off to learn languages? And then more specifically, what languages pay off? And I am always a little bit doubtful, as I don't know how these people actually measure. But according to this article, definitely English pays off, and raised from 64 to 72%. German and French remain stable at 6.5% each, and the upcoming languages are Spanish with 4%, and significantly has also increased Mandarin, doubling to 2%. Right, so if you are thinking about what to learn, you might want to have a look at this article, and maybe it gives you a clue what languages to learn best. So if you're an English native speaker and therefore speak the world language, if you will, already, there is of course the question, and we know, or we see that frequently, that English native speakers are not really good language learners. And the question comes up, is it really necessary because everybody else speaks English? So the UK thinks that you definitely should embrace language learning, and that it has a big and important effect on your personal as well as professional development, and that it can help in times of crisis. Right. News from California, specifically the California University Teacher Union. They want to save teacher positions in the classroom, and that's why they want to block online courses. Okay, related to it are the next two articles, which actually state that in Pennsylvania, online learning has grown 1,400% in the last 10 years, and it saves taxpayers 24% of the cost compared to the cost for public schools, which in times of economic downturn, 24% is quite a bit. Okay, and the third related article to the growth of online education we have here, and the overall web-based classes increased from 8% to now 20%. Interestingly, the number of 100% web-based degree programs rose from 2 to 4%, and therefore doubled. Pretty interesting. So I guess even if the teacher unions want to save teachers' positions in universities, growth and popularity and cost saving related to e-learning prove a little bit a contrary trend. Okay, the Pearson so-called free learning management system. Well, as always, if something is for free, usually there are strings attached, and we know that Google gave us pretty incredible programs to use for free. But of course, it is attached that we share information, data about us, and not very different with the new Pearson LMS, as of course Pearson will receive the school's data as they host the LMS solution, and of course can then always see how individual classes perform, maybe suggest their own textbooks, see what other textbooks from competitors are still being used in a particular school. So as you can see, free doesn't always mean really free. Alright, a post that makes the round all over the startup education scene at the moment, called Why Education Startups Do Not Succeed. Pretty interesting read, I can only recommend it, and I agree with quite some of the points. So there's definitely value to be found in the article. Right, an interview and article related to my latest post on Big Think about Siri and its potential and how it might and probably will change how we learn, or at least how we deal with information, states that he sees the important feature about the new iPhone 4S in Siri, as he doesn't want to use search engines anymore, but that the search engines should be replaced by answer engines. So I ask my personal assistant Siri a question and I get the answer, and I don't get a site with suggested links where to find the answer. So really this shift from search towards answers. And if WAS says that, I can't be that wrong with my Siri post on Big Think as well. And the last article for today, about an Indian student. She performed, to my mind, pretty well in her high school final exams with 93.5% cumulative score. But that wasn't good enough to enter Delhi University. She was rejected over there. But it is good enough to enter Dartmouth, and therefore she is an Ivy League student now. So not good enough for India, but good enough for Ivy League. And now we can see how competitive the Indian system has become. Probably rather similar from what we hear from countries like South Korea as well. So definitely an interesting read, and that's all for this edition of After Hours. I hope, as always, you found it informative and there were some pieces for you in it. I would like to point you to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/EDUKWEST, and also to our new newsletter. It's completely free, so I hope you will sign up for it. You find it on eduquest.com on the main page on the right side. And last plug is for EduQuest on Twitter. The branding, I think, is clear. So, we are at EduQuest, and I hope to see an increasingly bigger number of you join one of the three possibilities, and happy to engage and exchange ideas. So take care, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.
I'm staring at my laptop screen, scrolling through the feed. I'm subscribed to 100 blogs, but there's still nothing